Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of A Lady's Garden. I hope everyone had a nice Halloween if you celebrate and gave out candy, and I hope everyone's having a good start to the new month. Happy November, garden friends. So we're going to take a quick minute to stop in the front. I meant to show you guys the mums when they're in their prime, but we already had a first light frost outside. Not too damaging to the flowers, but nonetheless, it did come. It finally came. So let's look at these. They're looking pretty good. Not as fresh as they were over the weekend when we had that warmth spell, but still pretty good. They get so nice and full. I always have a little bit of a, I guess, I don't know what the word is, but I guess I would say a love-hate relationship with mums because they're so pretty, but they just, you probably don't keep them. And I don't really have the garden space to dedicate to just planting mums every year. Just imagine. We've been in this home almost 16 years, and I've always had mums. Just imagine if I took every mum I had, even though some are perennials, some are annuals rather, and some are perennials, and I planted them in my back garden. I would not have a place for any other plants. So the good thing is when I do kind of toss them out, they do go into like a paper bag, and our city picks them up, and I know they compost that as well. So it's not completely wasteful. But there are the pumpkins. And there's my shadow. Oh, and there's a bird. I did not even see him there. So let's go take a look at the porch before we scare any more birds coming out and fly at us. So here is the porch container. Same thing here. They're pitter-pattering out, the mums, but they were quite pretty and vibrant when they were. I have a few unopened buds. The violas are doing pretty well. I have some of the pine cones in there. The fragrance isn't as strong as it would be if I had the broomstick, like the cinnamon broomstick, but I actually couldn't find that this year. Interesting. Usually I'm always able to find that, but the ivy is doing pretty well. I'm trying to get the angle without getting my shadow in the video, but oh well. But very nice. Everything looks nice. Have the pumpkins, as you guys saw. Over here, my hydrangeas, some more pumpkins. I meant to find like a little candle, like those outdoor candles, the flameless candles, but things happen so fast and you're busy, and I didn't get to pop one in. Maybe I still can for Christmas when we do our Christmas decorations. So let's go take a look at the urn. Here's the urn on this side. Same thing. Flowers are coming out pretty nicely. That cabbage, let me see if I can get it over here. The cabbage looks beautiful. That color is just lovely. So everything looks really good there. I did get Creeping Jenny. I actually got it from another planter that was on discount, and I just popped that in there. Hope you can see it. Now I know it's a little darker over here. But now let's take a look at the backyard. Alright, so now we're in the backyard. And the backyard looks like it needs a lot of leaf cleanup, doesn't it? Funny thing is, we cleaned this up just a couple days ago, and it was like immaculate. And within the hour, we looked outside, and we always joke about this. We looked outside, and then we saw like tons of leaves already off of the trees on the ground. So it's a continuous cleanup for us in the fall, like I'm sure it is for many gardeners. 'Tis the season, right? So, I did mulch a couple of bags of leaves, but it doesn't even matter because once I come back in here and I blow everything out, it's going to just go with the wind. Really, my leaf, if I do want to put down a thin layer of shredded leaves, it's going to be at the very, very end of garden cleanup. So let's take a look at the trees up here. It's starting to thin out. It's starting to thin out. But we have a good bit of weeks to go. Some of the sunflowers started to kind of fade off. I did cut a few and bring them inside because I knew it was going to kind of get frosty. I doubt those other buds are going to bloom now at this point. Over here, I did kind of expand some of the garden lines, the edging a little bit. Probably can't tell. I wanted to take the focus off of the semi or half a circle. Just wanted to kind of make it a nice little swoop because the bench isn't there anymore. So I really don't want it to be a focal point. But speaking of the bench, I was working on that area last weekend, and I was able to find another pot. It's not the exact same pot from the exact same maker. It is a little different. You can't tell because of the grass in it, which the grass is actually a division. So it was one grass that I had in another part of the garden. It was kind of squished by some evergreens. So my intention was just to pop it out, divide it, see how I like it. If I divide it and, see how it did. And I put one in this pot, first pot here with the pineapple. Once I found another pot that somewhat matched, or, it's the same style, it's just a different maker, I kind of wanted the balance on either side, so I just popped the other one out of the ground and I popped it in the pot. I found 2 heucheras and I put them on the side. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them there, but I definitely probably won't transplant them now. I also started to kind of limb up a little bit the boxwoods. So if I come over here, you look down there, I started to bring it up off the ground. I think it would look kind of pretty if I can topiary it into just a nice little pom-pom. I think that would look pretty. This one, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because it's not one stem. It's actually 2. But I think we can make it work. So remember the urn had the creeping Jenny? Well, the creeping Jenny was in a pot with these 2 heucheras, which is a good deal because it was actually like significantly discounted because they were trying to get rid of it. So it had the 2 heucheras, it had the creeping Jenny, and it had another flowering annual, which I didn't keep that one, I just gave it away. But I really liked these 2. So I kept them, and the trellis I had, the pineapple I had, I think the area looks pretty. I definitely could not fit 3 pots. I mean, I could, but I don't think I want to. Here, especially with one of the pots being a little bigger than the other. And then I realized how much of, not so much space rather, that I have. I'm thinking about using another ground cover, just one more plant as a ground cover to kind of go through the entire area. I do want to get another trellis for the other side and another pineapple. Or what I also saw artichokes, like artichoke finials or some sort, cement or concrete, either one, to put here. So we'll see what I can find. This pineapple actually is a water fountain piece. So it's the topper of a water fountain that I got from a garden center that sells a lot of statuary, but some of the pieces, maybe it comes in broken or chipped or it doesn't work. They'll disassemble it and then they'll sell the other pieces. So people like me who like to reuse and recycle things can kind of pick them up for a really good price and add them to the garden. So that's where that is now, but I really like it. I do. I don't think I'm going to do any window boxes. I don't think it needs it, but what I do think would look pretty, and again, these are all just ideas, I saw something where it's like a siding clip, like a hook that you can kind of go underneath the siding and it comes down so you can hang things. I thought it would be just so lovely for on either side. So underneath the casing of this window, so let's just look at the center, come down a few, and the very end window, what if I was able to get a siding clip and kind of hang a lantern, a very light lantern, and it's only for show, it's nothing going to be hardwired, but wouldn't that look so sweet? That's what I think. Anyway, so let's take a look over here. I did have a rose, kind of a couple of them coming out. So there's one here. Don't think she's going to bloom. It's pretty cold right now here, but I was able to clip a couple of them and bring them inside so I can enjoy them inside. Here's the fern. You can see the effects of the cold there. And then over here, I have a lot more space. Oh my word. A lot more space for a lot more plants come next season. So I am going to be hard at work thinking and dreaming and kind of getting ideas of what I want to put over here. So it's going to be fun. I already cut back some of the hostas. Some are still remaining. We have the carex grasses that I bought over the summer that I wanted to use in front of the bench that I changed my mind on. They're doing pretty well, and they're going to add some nice evergreen kind of interest in the winter over here, which is what I wanted. Yeah, so that's about it. Our willow tree, our dappled willow, she is starting to put on some new growth, which is nice because it kind of lets me know that she's alive. The base of her gets a lot of suckers, but overall, you know, it's nice to know that it survived the move. So that's about it right now for the garden. Everything's going to bed. I think I'm going to wait and see if I can find some bulbs and just kind of put pockets of daffodils. I mean, tulips are always lovely, but they never really come back for me. So once I get my collection of bulbs in hand, then I will take you guys along to see the planting and where I think I want to place them. So I hope everyone's having a good week. I hope everyone's going to have a good weekend ahead, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for always watching. Happy gardening, fellow gardeners. Bye.